Hi, Dr. Craig Hazel here. This series of exercises are called foundation training. This series of exercises is going to help you to make sure that you start to get your back strong and supple so that way when you're out doing all the things that you love, you're going to be able to do it with ease. Let's get started. All right, so standing with your feet slightly shoulder width apart, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to keep our knees bent. I'm going to take my hands straight back behind me, moving my weight, transferring it onto the heels of my onto the heels. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold that position. You're going to feel those muscles in your low back and in your hips really start to engage. Then, without moving anything else, I want you to lift your hands up towards the ceiling as high as you can, taking a big breath in. Imagine holding a big bowl of water. You're going to hold that above your head, really starting to push my hips back. You're going to start to feel your hamstrings lengthen. Take a nice deep breath. I want you to turn the thumbs down towards the floor, keeping those elbows straight. Lift your hands up as high as you can. Really feel that extension in your upper back. Big breath in, let it all the way out. I want you to drop your hands right to the floor. In this position, you may want to move them forward about 5 or 6 inches, and I want you to press your heels into the floor as hard as you can, and I want you to try and straighten out your legs. Your hamstring should be trembling at this point. What we're doing is we're starting to stretch all of that connective tissue through your low back and into your hips. Really push your hips back further, sink onto those heels, really feel those hamstrings starting to lengthen. Big breath in, let it all the way out. I want you to bring your hands to your shins, really flatten and stiffen that back and your low back. I want you to come back up, take your hands back behind you. We're going to hold that for about 10 seconds. Big breath in, let it all the way out. Lift your hands straight up above you again. Your low back should be fried at this point, really trembling. We're just going to bring our hands down to our chest, and we're just going to do 10 good mornings. We're just going to bend our chest forward, and we're going to pump. The only thing that's moving is just pivoting through my hips. Really feeling the length of your hamstrings every single time you bend forward. Big breath in, take your hands right back behind you again. Lift those hands up as high as you can. Big breath in, let it all the way out. And then stand all the way back up. Next, we're going to take our right foot forward, left foot back. Both feet are going in the exact same direction. I'm going to interlace my fingers. I'm going to reach them right up towards the ceiling. And I'm just going to lean back. Then I'm going to lean over towards that right leg. Really feeling that stretch. I should be feeling the stretch all the way down the front side of your hip there. As you reach up, I want you to push up on the tip of your back toe as high as you can, and then press your heel down into the floor as hard as you can. Again, push back up, and then all the way back down. We're going to do 10 of those. Every time you do that, you should feel a lengthening through that whole front side of that hip, into the hip flexor. Last one. Good. We're going to bring our hands down. We're going to bend our chest forward, pivoting right from the hip. You should feel that hamstring and your right buttock really starting to kick into gear. You're going to take your hands directly out behind you and pull them down as hard as you can as you stick your chest forward. Really try to separate your head from your hip. You should really feel that big stretch in your hip there. We're going to reach our hands forward as far as we can. We're really going to try and separate our hands from our hip. Really try to lengthen as much as you can. You'll notice that my knee is behind my ankle. I don't want to be forward. I want to be back. Okay, lift your hands up as high as you can. Bring those hands to your chest. And we're just going to do another 6 of those good mornings. Bending forward. Every time you're bending forward, you should feel the length of your hip and your hamstring. Okay, we're going to come back up to a tall position, reach right up to the sky, big stretch, lean back, stand all the way back up. Now we're going to switch sides. Left leg forward, right leg back. My knee is behind my ankle. I want to reach up towards the ceiling, interlace the fingers, push the palms up towards the ceiling, reaching back and then leaning back and away from that right leg. Feeling that stretch all the way through that right hip flexor. Again, you're going to push up onto that tippy toe and do 10 pumps. So you're up, press your heel into the floor, push back up, heel into the floor. Each time trying to gain a little bit more length by leaning back and away. Great. Bring our hands down. We're going to stick the chest forward. Lift the hands all the way back up behind you. Pull them down towards your butt. Stick your head forward, really feeling the length and feeling all of that, the whole weight of your body being supported by that left leg and hip. I want you to reach your hands forward as far as you can. Really try to lengthen out. Try to get those hands and those hips as far apart from each other as you can. Big breath in, let it all the way out. Bring your hands to your chest. And we're going to do another 6 of those good mornings. Really trying to create some length. Every time you pump, you should feel the length of your hamstring getting longer. Okay? Big breath in, fingers all the way to the sky, lean back and stretch. Good. That's it. Takes you literally a few minutes, but doing that every single day, you're going to have far much less back pain than you ever could imagine.